In Lebanon, the health ministry reported at least 15 people killed in the latest Israeli shelling. Israeli forces carried out illegal raids and attacks against the south and inner Lebanon territory. Local media reported that the Zionist occupation ordered Lebanese citizens to leave their homes and to move north of the Awali River. The conflict between Tel Aviv and Beirut worsened on October 1st after Israel launched a land invasion against southern Lebanon, which has caused at least 2,200 deaths and has left more than 10,000 wounded. The Lebanese resistance neutralized several Israeli incursion attempts south of the border. Hezbollah forces launched missiles at the Zionist military brigade attempting to invade a village. The operation destroyed several explosive devices as well as an armored vehicle. The two sides exchanged fire, resulting in casualties among Israeli forces. The resistance has been carrying out actions against military targets for several weeks now. As a result, Tel Aviv forces still do not control any of the strategic hills they have tried to take over. The Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, demanded that the United Nations evacuate the personnel of the interim force in Lebanon. Netanyahu reiterated his call to the United Nations to withdraw from the territories of southern Lebanon. Likewise, the head of government in Tel Aviv also rejected requests made by 34 countries which condemned the attacks against United Nations personnel and asked to implement a ceasefire with the Lebanese resistance Hezbollah. Netanyahu rejected the international pressure and assured that he will continue to take actions to guarantee the security of Israel. He is in the middle of an escalation in the region due to Tel Aviv's aggression against Palestine, Lebanon, and Iran. In this regard, Pope Francis called for respect for the United Nations peacekeeping forces in Lebanon after the recent Israeli attacks. In addition, the religious leader made an appeal for the ending of hostilities in the Middle East and assured that war is at defeat. This October 13th, the Pope prayed for the victims and for the displaced and for the release of the hostages.
I am close to all the people involved, Palestine, Israel, Lebanon, to whom I ask for the respect of the United Nations peacekeepers.
And in Palestine, the Israeli aggression has killed more than 42,227 people to date and wounded over 98,000 others. Local authorities report that Israeli occupation forces committed 4 massacres in the last 24 hours. Health authorities registered at least 32 Palestinians killed in the latest Zionist attacks. Local media denounced that Israel is shelling shelters and residential homes in northern Gaza, injuring hundreds. Authorities also denounced that occupation forces prevent the movement of emergency teams, making it difficult to rescue the wounded and those trapped under rubble. And hundreds of Israelis protested in the streets of Tel Aviv against the government of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. During the gathering, demonstrators urged the Israeli government to establish an agreement with the Palestinian resistance movement Hamas for the exchange of hostages. They also condemned Netanyahu's insistence on the genocide against the Palestinian people. Likewise, protests blockaded several highways in response to the refusal of Netanyahu administration to take back their families.
Our government and our Prime Minister have took this Yom Kippur and really looked deep in and admitted to himself, and I hope that this admit would go out to the press, that there were times that there was a deal on the table and he could have took it and he could have released the hostages, and we know that also now there is a deal on the table.